Oh
You
my
leave a beauty
god.
blender within a mile of her and
That's insane.
let it be in her reach, and there she is.
Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where we are just over the moon because HarperCollins has decided that they can be human beings and they have come
Finally.
to an agreement with the union. They're going to, I guess, ratify their contract and go back to work.
Thank God.
It's been months.
It's been a while. I am Karin of AFC Richmond.
And I'm Mandy of the Narrows.
I know what that's from.
Yes, you do.
Yay. In our timeline, it is February 16th, and in y'all's timeline, it is February 24th. Holy shit, where did this month go?
I don't know.
It's
Everything's just flying by.
time is wibbly wobbly. I don't
Yeah,
get it.
it's weird.
So, as
It's
Mandy
weird.
said, HarperCollins has finally stopped being the worst.
Yes. And
The
we're thrilled to
union,
hear that.
the union has officially, they came to a tentative agreement with the union earlier this week, or maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, and
I think
then
it was over the weekend. Like,
yeah,
I
I
think,
think it was late last week. And
yeah,
then the union took a vote today, I'm
I think
assuming,
it
and
was
it's
today. Yeah.
officially been ratified by the union, so they're going back to work on the 21st, right after the holiday weekend. We are very, very happy for the union.
You know, they're having like the best weekend ever. Then, and I'm sure they're like ready to get back to work, but then they're probably also like, oh, wait, I
Yes.
have to go back to work. Like,
I'm
yeah, you want to go back and get paid.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
So I haven't read all of the details of the contract, but I did see that they're getting a lump sum, like a standard amount for everybody once it's ratified, and then I think they raise the annual starting salary from 45K to 50K, which is a good chunk. Hopefully I mean they have to live in New York City,
What
so
I'm saying is that's still
it's still, I mean, it's
still
bare
not great.
minimum,
Yeah. It's still not great. But if
but
that's what they wanted and if they're
yeah,
happy with that, I'm happy with that.
yeah. And if they're committing to diversity initiatives, even
Yep.
better. So,
Hmm.
because that was one of the things that they wanted, as well as union protections. So, I'm sure that they got what they wanted. Otherwise, they wouldn't have ratified the contract. So,
Right.
yay. Very exciting.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the
And
union. We're very happy for y'all.
yes.
All right, let's get into this week in fangirling. What did you do, Mandy? As if I don't know.
Um, yeah, I've done a lot and a little. We had my baby niece's fourth birthday party. It was fun. She loved all her gifts when she opened the monorail and like freaked out. And she's like screaming about how we couldn't find it at Disney. And her mom, my sister, is like, "Oh, you found that at Disney?" And she's like, "No, no, we didn't find this at Disney. We couldn't. We found another one." And so she was really excited. She got a lot of
Yay.
gifts, but that's the one she was playing with at the end of the party when everybody left. So
Yes.
I was like, Mimi. Then, of course, we attended virtually the Rihanna concert this weekend.
It was
Um,
so good. The
yeah,
fact that she did all of that while pregnant, I
I
can't.
know. I
I
love
like
the things going around on Facebook where it's like, imagine thinking I am in a position to criticize Rihanna.
right? Are you kidding me?
Excuse me, babe, you're not.
No. No,
No
you're
one on
not.
earth is
No,
in a
you're not.
petition to criticize or a position to criticize that woman.
Yeah, and you were saying people were like, she didn't do very much. Like, listen, she
She's
pregnant.
pregnant.
She did a lot. When I was pregnant, getting out of bed took my breath
Yeah.
away. The fact that she's actually has enough breath control to be singing and moving around and she did dancing, like
Yeah. And I am not pregnant and I'm not getting up on one of those things flying high above. She was like, it was like this, held
Mhm.
up by some, nope,
I
could
know
not be
I was
me.
terrified. I was terrified
Yeah.
for her. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of trust. That's a lot of trust.
Lots of
Oof.
trust.
Yeah,
But
she
yeah,
is amazing.
Gorgeous and beautiful and wonderful, as is Cheryl Lee Ralph. She is who sang Lift Every Voice and Sing, and she's in Abbott Elementary, so it felt like
Yes.
worlds were
Yes.
colliding as I'm watching her
Yes,
sing. Like,
she,
oh,
yeah. Oh, seeing her speech at the Emmys was so powerful. Like,
she's
I love her.
amazing.
I love her.
Yeah. So I have read Fable and Namesake and almost all of Saint. I have like an hour left on the audiobook. I don't want to talk about it too much because I have blurred lines of what's in Saint and what's in Namesake.
Yes.
So I'm not going to say too much, but I'll give you my notes from Fable. Okay.
Okay.
There are 3 of them.
Okay.
Saint is daddy. And I did not mean that as in Fable's dad.
Yes.
Because and it may be because I've been staring at this face on this
Yeah.
book for so long, and I'm like, homeboy, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I never had an instance of not being, every time Saint was like in a scene, I was just like,
Yeah, like there's not a
okay.
single, like I feel like she tried to write him as unlikable because of how he treated Fable, but no, no,
I
baby.
shouldn't have seen that face first. And she does describe a big, thick mustache that I did not see at all. I didn't picture it ever.
No, I
So that
pictured
was,
that guy.
yeah, this young hot. Oh God.
Hmm.
Then second note, West with a fire emoji.
Yes.
Love West too. And then you were right. The ending, a small reveal at the ending was not a surprise because
It
of,
it was
and I don't
like,
want to give it away as spoiler,
yeah,
but the
like
verbiage that was used was very
mhm,
specific.
mhm,
So it
yes.
was like,
I I was surprised, but not really
yeah,
surprised. Like I
yeah,
didn't
you're like,
see it coming, but
no.
I was not
Yeah, but when it
surprised.
happened, you're like, yeah,
Oh
this has
yeah,
been
yeah.
built up. I'm liking Saint the book, but it's definitely a prequel to me. Like it's not,
It doesn't have that.
as hardcore as the other,
Yeah.
not hardcore, but it's not as like, oh my gosh, this is adventurous.
Yeah.
I'm almost done and I still feel like we're in the build up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I will report back next week because
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
gotten to Saint yet, but I will by next week.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I'll mention that I read them. I'm not
Yes.
going to go further.
Yeah.
I binged all of the first part of season 4 of You.
Nice.
This is not really a spoiler because it's in all the commercials, but this season Joe gets a stalker. It's
I
a
heard
very
that.
it's a whodunit kind of thing. And I don't mean to say this to offend you, but it's so true. If you claim to be a book lover and you're not watching you are doing yourself a disservice. Okay.
I don't get it.
Joe, we don't relate to serial killers, okay? This is not what I'm saying, but he is a book lover and he like the way he talks about books is so relatable.
Oh, I
For
love.
example, the beginning of this season, he has found his way somewhere where he has decided I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of on a break. And I literally stopped the show to write this quote down. No love, no people, just books.
Okay.
Mood.
Yeah.
Mood. I want that.
That's a whole
And
fucking
he
mood.
says things like that all the time about books, and he'll like quote a book, and you're just like, and it's Penn Badley,
Alright.
so he's beautiful, but we're not
Right.
crushing on a serial killer. But the
Mhm.
bookish side of him is so
Yes.
relatable that it's like, oh
Yeah.
God. I have one more thing. I read Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee.
It's on I have the arc. I just haven't
It
gotten
is
to it yet.
so cute. So
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna give like the spoiler free like rundown. There's nothing that's like this is the beginning of the story that sets it all
Yeah.
up. So most important character off the bat is Clover the corgi. Okay,
Of course.
we don't care about anybody but Clover. We do, but she's so sweet. So then we have our main character is Dylan, and he works at Walk Warriors, which is his Aunt Jade's Singaporean Chinese takeout. And he one night, like the very first few pages, they are slammed and they're regular delivery drivers. I think his motorcycle is like out of commission. So Dylan is like, I'll take my bike and I'll go make the deliveries. Like, everybody calm down. It's going to be fine. So he ends up encountering this total douchebag, right? He gets there. He had to like physically pedal a bike instead of a motorcycle that they usually have. The food is an hour late. So the guy is like, that part he's understandably annoyed about, right?
That's fair.
He gets there, his food is cold, and there's spring onions on it, and he asks for no onions. I would be pissed too. Okay.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
onions are a very common allergen.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
okay. But dude goes on like a rant, like screaming, cussing him out. And like, dude is uber wealthy. You can tell from his apartment
Mhm.
and stuff, belittling him. And he's leaving, I'm leaving terrible reviews. And it's like, okay, you don't have to just say, can I get my money back
Yeah.
and move on? Like,
It's pretty
just call them
simple.
and be like, hey, this is unacceptable. I get you might have had a bad night, but I can't eat this. I'm not going to eat this and move on. So this really cute guy walks out as Dylan's leaving. And, he's just like, wait, dang, you're cute. Dylan goes back to the restaurant, and a day or two later, this guy shows up in the restaurant and he's like, hey, I just want to apologize for my friend. He's like, I want to like make up for the way he acted. So he gives him $100 tip. And Dylan's like, I can't take money like that. That's weird. And so the dude is like, well, I'll eat some food. So they have like a little impromptu date where they, are just sitting there talking and whatever. And they're talking, and Dylan mentions wanting to enter this mooncake making competition. And it's because it's run by a celebrity chef, and they're trying to get attention to the restaurant so that more people will come, right? So the next day, the guy's name is Theo. He shows up at Dylan's school. They go shopping for mooncake molds, and Dylan admits that his aunt is struggling. And he's like, if we just could get like some small business grant to give us $5,000 just to like stay afloat until this competition, it would be awesome. And the next day, a $5,000 check from the Revlock Foundation arrives, which is Clover spelled backwards. Theo drives a Ferrari, by the way. So Dylan confronts him, and again, this is not spoilers because this is leading up to the plot of the book. So Theo says, you know what, or Dylan says, I've got to pay you back some way. This is way too much. And Dylan says, well, you know what, sorry, Theo says, you know what, I have a family wedding I have to go through this weekend in the Hamptons. Why don't you just come with me? I need to keep my aunties off my back, all of the
Okay,
matchmakers.
that's so relatable though.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
And
relatable.
he's like, they know I'm gay. Just come with me, pretend to be my boyfriend at this wedding, and everything will be great. And so, of course, you have the fake dating, blah, blah, blah. The only other thing I want to say, because I don't want to give too much away, but this was so cool how like the timing fell. Theo is half Chinese and half white, and his mother tragically died when he was 5 years old. So he doesn't have anybody to teach him. Like, he's never had any of his Chinese heritage. He's lost it all. So like Dylan speaks both Cantonese and Mandarin dialects. Theo has nothing. And so like going and being around like in the restaurant and like around seeing Dylan's family that works there, he like is like blown away, and he like has like a struggle just like both of the characters in Lunar Love did.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
it was like,
god.
oh my gosh, this is like the weirdest timing.
I love that.
Yeah. So it was really like, I don't know, like it was really odd
Yeah.
that was like not odd because of the writing, just odd the timing, but like it was such a cute read. I read it in a day, like
I
on Super
feel
Bowl
like
Sunday.
we manifested it a little bit
Yeah.
because we were talking about how like we need more like mixed
Yeah.
characters and representation and all that, and then immediately afterwards you read this
I
like
read that. And it's been in
perfect.
my NetGalley for a month, over a
I
month.
know. I've
And
had
I
mine
was
for a
just like,
while.
yeah, I was like, I just need this cute little cartoon cover rom-com.
Mhm.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't want to start anything heavy. I don't want to listen to an audiobook all day because I listen to Saint and Fable and Namesake and audio. But so yeah, it was really fun.
I love that. Yeah, the second I saw that cover,
Yes.
and then I saw Cher's Instagram post, and she was like, if you're Asian or you're queer and you really want to, and you like corgis, like, and you really want to read this book, like, send me a DM and I'll make sure my publisher approves you. And I was
Yeah.
like, hi,
Hello.
I am all of these things.
Yeah.
Please, please. She was
Yeah.
like, I got you. And then literally Monday morning, because I think it was a Saturday, Monday morning, I get first
There
thing
it
in the
is.
morning is an email. And I was like,
You
thanks.
have to read it. It's very quick. It only took me a couple of hours to read, but
Yeah.
because it was Super Bowl Sunday, so I would like read a little bit, and then I would go like I took a nap, and then I would read a little bit, and then here's Cheryl Lee Jeffs, and then Rihanna's
Yeah.
playing.
I love
Yeah,
it.
so it was so cute. I
It
do have to
was.
tell you one thing. Have you listened to the audiobooks of Fable and Namesake, or are you
Yeah,
like
that's what I've
physically
been, yeah, I've been
have you
listening to them.
started Saint? You
No,
haven't started Saint?
no.
Okay, prepare yourself because this has pissed me off for the whole time.
Oh no.
In Fable and Namesake, they pronounce a name wrong through the whole thing. Okay. They call her Isolde.
Mm-hmm.
That name is Isolde. And in Saint, they say it right. So you're going to hear Isolde for the next, for
Wait,
the rest.
wait.
Yeah.
I just assumed that that was how they had chosen to pronounce it
I
for
did
the
too until I
series.
got to Saint, and then it was like, Jesus, wait now,
That's so
why?
frustrating.
Yes, and
That's
I'm
so frustrating.
I'm so annoyed by it. I was annoyed by it at first because I was like, you're
Yeah.
intentionally mispronouncing a like if you want to be different, that's fine, but like
Yeah.
whatever. Like it irked
Yeah.
me, but I didn't bother. But to get in the prequel of this same
That's
series and you're saying it differently,
that's so frustrating. Oh
yeah.
no.
So be
Oh
prepared for
no.
that.
Ew. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I don't like it
Okay.
either.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Mentally prepare myself. Ugh.
What did you do this week?
So I also, well, I read Fable last week, but I read Namesake this week, and I would like to throw this quote from you out there because it's my favorite description of a book ever. Namesake is like porn for girls with daddy issues. And it's
Yes,
the most accurate thing I
it
have ever
is.
heard. It's like the
It is.
best. It really is. And literally, there's no other way to describe it. It's the perfect descriptor.
Spoiler alert, if you have not read Namesake and plan to, go away for the next like minute. When he is like, my love for you, like my love for your mother was nothing. My love for the sea is nothing. My love for you is more than all of it. And I was just
I died. The when he claims her as his daughter,
after
I
years of
literally
saying never show them.
I literally, everything stopped. I
Yes.
literally
Yes.
stopped breathing because I was just like, what?
Yes.
I died. I died. I died. It was, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like the
I thought,
best thing that could have ever
so good. It was
happened.
so good.
Ah,
So good.
makes my heart go pitter pat.
Yes. What a great, great book.
And it
And
may be that I'm biased, like I said, because of this picture, but like I was rooting for Saint the whole like it wasn't even like Fable was
yeah.
the main character. It was like Saint had all the main character energy, and it was just like when you get back to your daddy, I want to hear some more about your dad. I want to hear more about your dad.
Oh my God. I feel like everything wrapped up so nicely, like
Yeah.
in Namesake after,
Mhm.
from Fable to Namesake, everything got wrapped up so nicely and it was just so satisfying and I loved it. I loved it very
Yeah,
much.
very good.
And then, as I have been working through Adrienne Young's back catalog, I've been going in pub date order. So, the next book that she published after Namesake was The Last Legacy, which is set in the same world, but it follows this character, Bryn, who we haven't seen before in
Okay.
Fable or Namesake, but she is the niece of Henrik Roth, Oster's uncle. I can't remember, but like Oster left that
Yeah, I know.
family on Bastion. And so she was like, her parents died, and her great aunt took her away from Bastion to raise her with the understanding by her uncle Henrik that she would come back on her 18th birthday and rejoin the family. They're like, it's like the family's like mafia family, kind of like that's the vibe.
Right.
And we see Ezra again, Ezra who let Oster go. And so, yeah. And this book, I know I complained about Adrian not satisfying me in the romance department, but
Yeah.
this one gets it done. So that's nice. So, yeah. And Bryn is like, she's been raised in this like fancy world, and now she has to go back and kind of fancy up her mafia family. Like, they don't
Yeah.
like, like when you sit down to dinner, you take your napkin and you put it in your lap and you
Had to
don't put
take
your
you from
elbows on the
rags to
table.
riches.
Yeah, because they want to go more legit. They want to be less like crime boss, more like member of society. And so it's really fun. It's like a fun little detour outside of like the world of the Narrows, like, but still kind of gives you that little
Same vibe.
connection. Yeah, the same
Yeah.
vibe. And I really like it. And she is like, I pictured her originally as like a society girl, like she frilly dresses
Mhm.
and all of that. And
Yeah.
she is like, this girl's a badass bitch. Like, I loved it. I loved it so much. So I finished that today, and then I started the next book that Adrian published, which was not Saint. It was Spells for Forgetting. So I could have had Saint done, but I had to go in order. And Spells for Forgetting is not at all what I expected. And to be fair, I don't read descriptions, or I didn't used to read descriptions of books, so I didn't really know what to expect. I just, based on like the cover and the title, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like something witchy, something like in that vibe. And there is some like witchy stuff, but it's not like a main
Okay.
thing in it. And so you have, I've forgotten her name already. I literally just, I think I want to say Emily. They call her M, so I think it's Emily.
Okay.
And
It's way
she
over there already. Get it.
so it's told from like multiple POVs, and
Mhm.
it's told over there's like flashbacks and stuff, and so it kind of centers around her best friend Lily, who was years ago was murdered, and everybody thinks that it is August, who is the other like main POV. So it's Emily, I think it's Emily and August are like the main POVs, but then
Uh-huh.
there are like some surprise other ones. And so everybody thinks he did it, and he and his mom like left the island and never came back, and now he has to come back because his mom's passed away, and she requested that her ashes would be buried on the island. And
Right.
so the story goes on, and it just like it doesn't go the way that you expect, and there's so many like twisty turny things, and I was so invested the whole time. I was like slightly confused because there were so many POVs, but like they all made sense put together, and it was just really good. And
Yeah.
I think this is her first adult book.
I think I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the other, I mean, I've read all the other ones, and I think all the other ones are YA.
Mhm.
So this was her adult debut, and it gives you the same vibes as everything else that I've read from her, but just slightly aged up in a way that feels like she's like growing as an author, as you
Yeah.
do, like as you're writing
Yeah.
more books. So I really liked it. I can't wait for you to read it and tell me what you think. I know you're taking a break because
Yeah.
but whenever that happens, let me know. I'm very
I'll go
excited.
back. I enjoy her writing, but it's just like my mindset was I love Adam Silvera and I haven't even read anything that all of the books that
Yeah.
he's written. You know, like I'm not gonna go
Right.
through like a just Adrian Young. Like there's so many other books I gotta read.
Right, for sure. And then I read this week Arrival Must File because we're talking to RK Ashwick this week, and I hadn't had a chance to read it. So I was like, I'm going to read it because it's supposed to be very cozy and I'm going to love it. I know I'm going to love it because Amber and Mandy can't be wrong. Like, there's no possible
If
way.
you had texted me and said meh, like you did with, or it was okay, like you did with
the night the stars fell.
I was trying to call it the Fire and Starlight, but that's wrong.
I
The
was
night the
too.
stars fell, and then my brain glitched. Yeah, the night the stars fell. She texted me and she's like, "It's okay." I was like, "I will come choke your
I
house."
purposely didn't tell Mandy that I was reading it just so that
Yeah.
I could text her and be like, it was okay.
If you had done that to me about this book too, I would have fired you.
So yeah, Mandy talked about it, and it really is just as good as Mandy and Amber say. Every character just made my heart happy. I want to live in the Scar. I want to be a part of this found family.
Yeah.
It really is just the comfiest thing
So
ever.
sweet. It's
I
such
love
a
it.
sweet book.
I love it. And then the other thing that I read this week, I read an arc of Immortality, a love story by Dana Schwartz, which is the sequel to Anatomy, a love story. And I didn't know Anatomy was getting a sequel. So it was very exciting when I found out about this. I don't know if I talked about it last year when I read Anatomy. It was a bit underwhelming to me. Like something about it just didn't vibe. It wasn't like a bad book. It was a good book. It was well written. Something about it just didn't vibe with me. And after reading Immortality, I figured it out. I felt incomplete.
Yeah, you needed more.
I needed more. Like something about the story just didn't feel like it was done.
Not
And
cohesive.
I think if I had known that Immortality was coming, I would have felt differently. Like I
Right.
think I would have been like, okay, that was
I'm
good.
hopefully
Like
optimistic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like this duology is stronger together and should be read back to back. And I mean, a friend of mine really liked Anatomy and then was like meh about Immortality, whereas I was meh about Anatomy and like really loved Immortality. So
I
mean,
can't help. You told me I
it's-
can't read it. So
yeah, she's learning to be a surgeon, so
Yeah,
blood
I'm
and
squeamish.
stuff.
If you're
Yeah.
squeamish, don't read these.
Yeah, but I do think if you do plan to read it, make sure you have both of them and read them back to back. That is my recommendation, or at least just understand that when you finish the first book, you won't
That's not
feel
it.
finished. There's more.
Right, that's not it.
It basically picks up where the first book left off, but you have like the same main character just in a different setting with a whole new cast of characters, but it doesn't feel like disconnected. It just feels like it smoothly
Like the
goes
chapter
together.
changed.
Yeah, it's like you flip the page and
That's
it's like the
cool.
second act, you know, like you had the first
Yeah.
act and the second act. And I really, really enjoyed it. It had like the vibe of like classics prose without making me want to throw it away, because I have
Yeah.
said before that I'm not big on the classics just because of the way that they're written, and that's not a
Right.
dig
They're
on them.
hard to
It's just,
keep up with.
yeah, it's not my vibe. So, but this had like the similar vibes, but didn't make me want to fall asleep.
Right.
I wrote down there were some surprises that I wasn't expecting, and they came out of nowhere, and I loved it. And that's the end of my notes. That's all I got.
Spoiler free. Hey.
I'm pretty sure I wrote a review and it's on the blog because I got it through
Yeah.
NetGalley. So if you need more details, go read that. It is out on February 28th, which is a big day in publishing for me. So yes, I enjoyed it, and I think everybody should read. If you're not squeamish, you should read the duology.
She said everybody should read. Wait a second. Let me
Just
amend
kidding.
that.
Not everybody. So that's what I read. And then after speaking with Lauren last week, I decided that I was going to put Ted Lasso at the very tippy top of my list, and I binged both seasons. I was live updating Lauren as I was watching it and like reacting to it. And I gave her a warning. I'm like, I'm going to be binging this. So feel free to mute me and just like check in every like
Yeah.
few hours so that you're not bombarded.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person who likes to react to things.
Yeah.
And I'm never doing things with other people. So unfortunately, that means my friends get it over text a lot.
You're good about it though, because you know, like if we don't respond, it's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't care.
Yeah.
It's just that we're asleep or
Yeah.
on a
Like,
call or
I
on a
like
work call. Or...
yeah. I put it on and I started watching, and I was up until like 4 a.m. like just binging. I was like, I can finish this, and then I was like, there's like 8 episodes left and it's 4 a.m. I should get some sleep.
I've got to
So
go
then I
bed.
took like a 4-hour power nap, and then I went back, woke up and did it some more. Like Mandy said, I don't really sleep.
She does not sleep. I don't understand how she functions.
I don't understand how I function
sleep
either.
enough for both of us, so maybe that's
It's
what
true.
it is.
That's what it is.
I get all of our sleep.
So that I don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ted Lasso is about a Kansas college football coach who gets hired to coach an English Premier League football, aka soccer to us Americans, team. And Lauren mentioned Roy Kent as her fictional boyfriend, and I can now say yes. We stan Roy Kent. He is grumpy and he's like grunting and growling, but he's got the biggest heart ever.
Yeah.
But like, and she mentioned his niece, like he's got his niece every now and then, and he like stays himself, like constantly swearing, constantly being grumpy, but like in a way that his niece is just like, that's just who he is. Like it doesn't mean he doesn't love me. He's just, that's just my Uncle Roy.
Being real.
Yeah. And so like I wrote down the best moments are when he's like still being himself. He's still grumpy, but in a way where he's being very soft with the person he's interacting with.
Aww.
Like I don't know how to explain it because he's just grumpy but
gives
soft.
Me kind of Ron Swanson vibes. But,
yeah.
But
kind of, yeah.
Ron Swanson's never soft.
Yeah.
So like when you're describing this, I'm picturing if Ron Swanson and Andy Dwyer had a baby. Because Andy Dwyer is soft.
Yes. That is an excellent way to describe it.
Okay,
he is,
well,
he's
on the
like,
list.
yeah,
I don't have a lot of TV shows on the list.
He's really just so grumpy, and it's like one of the best things about him, and it's amazing. So Roy Kent, all the hype for Roy Kent, because yes. And I had posted about it, like I was starting it, and one of our friends, Tiffany, she like literally commented, she was like, I love Ted Lasso, Roy Kent is bae. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm prepared for this.
Everybody's agreeing.
Yeah. But also Sam Obisanya, who is one of the other football players, he is a literal ball of sunshine. Like just the sweetest human being on the face of the earth. Like even when he's being like picked on, he's just like so sweet. And he is like literally the actual definition of a ball of sunshine. Like I love him so much. I 100% understand understand the hype about Ted
Yeah.
Lasso now. I get it. Nobody yell at me anymore for not watching Ted Lasso because I get the hype.
I'm
And
probably gonna
Lauren just
watch it
told me.
after Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
So
Lauren
fine.
just texted me the other day and she's like, it's coming out March something or other. And I was like, I binged it at the perfect time, like season 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect time to have binged it. So I'm very excited. And I really like the fact there is some like mental health things that happen. And it's handled in a way where, as somebody who has mental health issues, it can understand how the character is reacting.
Right.
Like,
You understand how it gets to this or
yeah,
that.
this or that, and how they are at accepting or not accepting help, like the reasoning
Right.
behind it.
Yeah.
Like it's very well done, and I didn't expect it, and I really, really enjoyed seeing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what
exciting.
I watched this week.
Well.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Movie night. We watched If Beale Street Could Talk, which I picked because I was feeling like it's the Friday before Valentine's Day, so we need a romance. And I went to Real Good and just had them like pick a random movie, or I did the little roulette until it was a movie that I was interested in.
Yeah.
And that seemed like a good one, and it was good, but Beth and I spent the whole time being like, if this doesn't have a happy ending, I'm burning down the world. And so the world's gonna burn down now.
Okay, well, I'm not watching it.
I mean, it's like a mixed bag because it's like it doesn't have like a super happy ending, but it also kind of gives you hope. Like it's hopeful.
Like one could come.
Yeah,
One
like
could be there.
something good could happen if the movie kept going, like after the
Right.
ending. So, you know, yeah,
I
it's one of
hate
those
an
things.
ambiguous ending.
I don't think that, I wouldn't say it's necessarily ambiguous. It's just that the whole movie is leading up to like, so basically this guy gets imprisoned because a woman claimed that he raped her.
Yeah.
And so the movie is his partner. She's trying to like, she's working with a lawyer, trying to find, you know, witnesses and all of this and trying to exonerate him essentially. And the whole time Beth and I were like, he would never, because this man was, he would never do anything like that and disrespect a woman like that. And so the whole movie is basically them trying to like get it to a point where they can get him out of jail.
Right.
And you know, doesn't necessarily go the way that we want it to go, but at the end of it, it's like they have hope for after all of that. And it's like, it's kind of inspiring to see after going through all of that, they still are
Right.
like positive and stuff. So it's not like a happy ending per se, but it's not like ambiguously hopeful. Like I think it definitely gives you a feel of it being hopeful.
Right.
So
Right.
I would recommend it. Yeah. I think I really enjoyed it. I just was like rooting for like happily ever after, and that's not exactly what we get. So
Yeah.
that was yeah.
That was your week.
That was my week.
Do I have to guess who your fictional boyfriend is this week? Or is it Roy Kent?
It's definitely Roy Kent. Roy and Sam, I would say, are my fictional boyfriends this week. Because they're it's just so funny because I'm like grumpy sunshine trope. Like I love that. And they are grumpy sunshine. They're just not the couple.
Yeah,
They're both sides of it. And it's just like, I love them both in like the same way, even though they're so different from each other.
Yeah.
Like, but like the most like important parts of them, like they both have really big hearts. They would go to bat for like the people that they care about. Like,
yeah.
you know, like the core part of
They're
them
good
is very
humans.
similar. Yeah. Even though their personalities are so different, just the core of them, they're perfect. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. So Roy and Sam. How
Well,
about you?
Saint. My God, I'm so thirsty. But then I also have a fictional bestie of the week. I forgot to mention that I've continued watching Abbott Elementary, and the main character is Janine. She's a second grade teacher, and so she's like the one that you're most focused on. But then you've got, you know, a bunch of teachers around her. But she's got this. She's like, we're friends, and there's a whole episode where he said he makes a joke about how they're work friends, and he has a boyfriend and didn't tell her, and he's like, we live together, we've been together for years, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, because we're work friends. And then like they're real friends, like they aren't just work friends. But he is so like, he's this little bitty string bean. Like the kids, he's like a middle school teacher, and the kids make fun of him. Last night, one of the episodes I watched, he wanted to start a podcast club. But he
Oh
wanted it to be like This American Life. So he's like, "This is, Jacob Hill. This is This Abbott Life, the Cafeteria Diaries," or something. The kids are like, "This is so lame, Mr. Hill." So, yeah, but there's an episode where, like, Janine is out because she's sick, and all of the other teachers are like they're not being, like, cruel about her, but they're like, "Wow, it's so quiet in here because she's not here, and if she was here, she'd be doing this and this," and he's like, "I don't like this. This is mean." And so, like, even with her not there, he doesn't sit by, he doesn't, like, stay quiet, he doesn't leave the room, he, like, stands up for his friend, and he's like,
Oh,
"No, you guys are wrong," and he stands up to, like he's, like, dying to, like, be friends with these older teachers, and, like, he's not gonna compromise his friendship with her. He's like, "No, no, no, you guys are being mean, and I need you to know it, that she's awesome, and you guys are wrong."
yeah.
So, like, he's, like, the best little
We
friend. I just
stan.
wanna squeeze Jacob. So Jacob Hill
We
from Abbott
oh,
Elementary.
we
Yeah.
love anybody who stands up to bullies like that. Like
Yeah. And I
it's
don't
one thing.
like No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like one thing to like stand up for your friend when they're with you, and it's another thing
Yeah.
entirely when they're absent.
Yeah.
Like
It would be so easy for him to have, like, turned away like, I didn't
right
hear that, and, like, go
to
out,
just
but
walk
he
out.
was like, "You got no.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?" And, like, at one point, they're like there's a teacher who doesn't come into the teacher's lounge when Janine is there because she talks a lot. Like, she's very Leslie Knope-esque, kind of.
Mhm.
She's very, like, a new teacher, and she's very eager, and this teacher's like, "I don't come in here when she's here." And so the 2, like, veteran teachers are like, "Why don't you we're going out to lunch today. Why don't you come with us?" And he's like, "You always tell me and Janine especially, that the restaurant you go to won't seat parties of 3. But now that she's not here, they do." And so, like, he
Yeah.
just, like, called him out immediately, and I love that. And I don't wanna
Yes.
call them like, they weren't being bullies, they weren't being it's a sitcom, so it
Yeah.
was like it was just for
Just
funny dialogue.
unkind.
But
Yeah.
yeah, one of the women is like, she's a god warrior, she's Barbara and she's got her Bible. And that's Cheryl Lee Ralph's character. And so my favorite B word is Bible. Blueberries. So, like, he has to, like, put her in her place and remind her, like, this is not the greatest
Mhm.
behavior.
Jesus
So
would
I
not
love him.
approve.
Yeah, he's all of us. Jacob is all of us, and I love it.
Yay, I love. That's awesome. Where did your money go, Mandy?
I don't have anything on the table where my money went, but I can tell you where my husband's money went. So I don't have they're not up here, but he told me last week, "I ordered your Valentine's Day gift, and when it gets here, you have to open it." I'll post photos. I'm gonna go ahead and make a note for to post the photos. But I go out to get some other packages, and there's something at the door. So I open it up, and the box says Disney X Roseshire. And I'm like, "What is this?" So I open it up, and it's like a bouquet of roses that has like this whole Beauty and the Beast themed like box and a card with a wax seal. Ugh, it's so beautiful. And the card was like, I may be the beast, but you've always been the princess, or something like that. Like, it was very sweet.
It was very sweet.
Yeah, they're still going strong. Like, my
Oh.
mom came over that night for something. I meant to text or to DM Lauren and tell her, like, I talked to my mom, and there were like 4 "you've got mail" quotes within like 5 minutes. And it was the day after we talked to her, so I was just like, "Bam, there's one, bam, there's one." And my
I
mom
love that.
started it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So but she came over and she was like, "These are the prettiest roses I've ever seen in my life. Like, these are gorgeous." So I have those. And then on Valentine's Day, I had to go into my office. Boo.
Mhm.
So I got home and he's really weird, okay? And he loves hamburger helper. So I was gonna make him hamburger helper for dinner because there have been years where I'm like, "Hey, it's your birthday. We could do like a party, or we could like go to Atlanta and go to like a really nice restaurant." And he's like, "Or you could make like a giant thing of hamburger helper." And I'd be like, so thrilled. So I was like, "It's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna make him hamburger helper." Well, I get home and he's like, you've got 2 choices. We can either go to like a nice restaurant and like sit down and have like the whole, nice dinner for Valentine's Day, or we can get something quick." And he specifically said, and by quick, I don't mean Wendy's or Zaxby's, but like something quick service. And then we can go to Barnes and Noble and I'll buy you books. So I went to Panera. And I got Loath to Love You by Allie Hazelwood, which is like it's short stories,
Yeah.
little novella. I got Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. He brought this to me and the cover did it for me. It's called Missing Dead Girls by Sarah
Ooh,
Walters, but it's like a bleeding eyelash. One of my
interesting.
nieces, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna discuss like who they are as people, but this is not like an insult in any way when she says this. But if she holds up a book that is like any kind of LGBT rep, she'll go, "It's gay."
Yes. I do
And
that too.
yeah.
I'm just like,
So
oh my God, it's gay.
yeah. So he brought me this and he was like, "This looks like something you'd like. Like it's missing dead girls and blah blah blah." And I read the back and it's gay.
Yeah. I love it.
Or it sounds like it's gay anyways. It could be that they were roommates, or they were best
Okay.
friends, but the back sounds gay.
Okay. I love.
Then we got Pure Evil, The Machete Murders of Macon, because it was written by the same author who wrote a book that I love about like a serial killer in our town, like a true story of
Oh
this.
my God.
We have a woman who it was like the 60s, late 50s, 60s. My grandmother like remembers her. My grandmother was a child. She had a restaurant here. She, using poison, killed two husbands, a mother-in-law, one of her daughters, and was starting on the second daughter when she got caught. She used
Holy
arsenic.
shit.
So anyways, the person who wrote this book wrote a book about Angette Lyles. It's called Whisper to the Black Candle. Super good. So when we saw this and it's about another set of murders that took place in our area, we were
Oh
like, all right, we're
my
gonna get
God.
that. And then I got These Infinite Threads by Tahara Mafi. I've got to read, what's it called? This Woven
These,
Kingdom. I try
yeah,
to say These Woven Kingdoms. It's This Woven Kingdom.
yes.
I think these might be my next read. I have an
Oh,
arc
yeah.
to read and then it might be these. And so that's what we bought. And then before that, I had like a random package on my USPS informed delivery, and Flatiron Books sent me a Valentine. They sent me The God of Endings, which is about a woman who runs it's like a fine arts school for kids, and it's the 80s, and she is immortal. Her grandfather has made her immortal like him, and one kid shows up at the school that something's kind of off with the kid, and someone from the main character's past comes up at the same time, and she starts getting hungry, and I take that to mean
Interesting.
like in a vampiric way, hungry. And
Interesting.
so all of this happens like at the same time. So I'm excited to read this.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
So thank you, Flatiron Books, for the Valentine. And I think that's where all the money went. I spent some money at our friend Nona Ray Crafts this week, and I'll show you guys what it is when it gets here.
Awesome. I had a very shockingly spare week.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I got
Everybody needs a bye week.
I got two packages. One I haven't opened yet, but it is the Six Crimson Cranes origami kit from, I want to say like Owl Crate, maybe?
Mhm.
Barely, I can't remember, but it's an origami kit. I haven't opened it yet, but I bought that from like a Facebook group
Mhm.
with a couple books, but the person I bought it from, she's like, well, I can send the books media mail for this price and the origami kit separately
Mhm.
for this price. And I was like, it's slightly cheaper to send them separately, so let's just do
Yeah,
that.
let's do that.
I'm like, I'm cheap, let's go with that. And so I have on the way, I think the book is called With Fire on High by Elizabeth
Ooh,
Acevedo.
that sounds interesting.
The cover is really
That's
pretty.
That's a good title.
It's a good title. The cover's really pretty. And I remember I read the synopsis and I remember thinking that it was really interesting. I could not tell you what it's about right now, but I did read it. But she was also doing buy a book and get a free arc. And so she had Blade for the Win. So I was like,
yay, that's cool.
I would like that. I would like that, please. And
Yeah.
I was like joking, like throwaway line, like I don't even remember what I said, but I made some sort of throwaway line, and they're like, "Well, I'm a librarian, so I have like 400 to 600 arcs right now," and I was like, "Do you need me to come?"
Be friends with us.
Do you want to be friends? Like, I'll come. I'll always. So I was like, if you ever come across, oh, I remember what it was. I was like, do you by chance have any of Robbie's other books in
Yeah.
arcs, and they're like, I don't think so. I have 400 to 600 arcs right now, so I really couldn't tell you. And I was like,
Say
so
what now?
I was like, listen, if you ever come across Chloe Gong, Robbie Couch, Omni One Zhao, Adam Silvera, because
Yeah.
bestie, I was like, I would be happy to throw some
I
money
know
your
a
way
guy who would
to
like those.
yeah, like I would be happy to take those off your hand for you. um,
Yeah.
so I have the books haven't come yet, but the origami kit did. And then the one other package that I got this week, I believe you also got. It's
I did.
Fairy
It's already
Loot.
on my shelf. I forgot about
Um,
that. At
so
least
it
one of
is
us is here.
the February, or Fairy Loot January Young Adult box. The book is
It's hard
Spice
to keep up
Road.
with.
I know. Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim. I want to say that's how it's pronounced. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's very pretty. I've been wanting this book, so I'm glad I didn't buy
It's
it, like
really
pre-order it.
gorgeous.
And then the
The
freaking edges.
those edges. Yeah,
I
my
die.
jaw
I
dropped.
die. They're stunning. I'm obsessed. I love it. I can't wait to read it. It's going to be a series. I saw on Goodreads. It's going to be it's
Ooh,
like the
so are you
start of
gonna
a
read it
series.
now or are you gonna wait?
I don't know. I don't know. I will let fate decide, because I have I made all little tiny books, like for the ornaments
Mhm.
of all
Right.
of the books on my shelf that I haven't read. And so when I'm feeling feisty, I just dig around in my little box of tiny
Just take
books
one.
and
I
pick
saw
one out.
somebody who got a gumball machine and they put like
Yeah,
books
I've seen
inside the
that.
little things.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
That sounds like rich people money, and I don't have that.
Yeah.
No, but that does. I've seen that, and that's really fun. But I just have a little like wood box that I just have them in, and I just like when I'm feeling a little bit feisty, I'm just gonna dig around in there and grab one. And then it also like saves me from doing 180 books at the end of the year and getting arthritis in my hand because of it.
Yeah.
So yes, that is what I got this week. I mean, there's other stuff
Very
in the Fairy
nice.
Loot box, but I put them back in the box. So yeah,
Very, very nice.
I had a light week.
And that sound means we have an intruder. Today we have RK Ashwick here to talk about. I got my Kindle, it's dead. It's not on the screen yet, but it's Arrival Most Vile.
We tried to
I'm
be
so
prepared
excited.
this time. I know my Kindle
Welcome.
screen like
Thank
passed out too.
you.
Welcome, welcome. We're so excited to talk to you.
Oh, thanks. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
I love
So-
your background.
Yeah,
with
I was
all
gonna
the
say.
it's perfect.
I thought it
That
was
is
appropriate
really-
and it hides mess. So
I
it's
should
owned up
start
on
doing
that.
that because yeah.
Funny story, Karen, when I logged on, I had to turn one off because my husband and I were testing Zoom earlier this week and I had Leslie Knope's background, like Leslie Knope's desk in her office was the background. I was like, she'll be so confused if I just log in with like an American
Oh
flag.
my
And
god.
I don't know. I think that's a strong background.
I
it
feel like
really
yeah,
was.
it
I kind of
really
wanted to
is.
leave it. I was like, this is such a power move. What?
It
Everybody's getting
is.
intimidated. Wow.
Heck yes, I love it.
Okay, so our first question that we normally ask our authors is, can you give us like the elevator pitch of your book? Like, what is, just for someone who hasn't heard of it yet, what's it about?
So the 3-word pitch is rival potion shops. The slightly longer pitch is that Ambrose Beak runs a potion shop on one side of the street. Eli Valens opens a potion shop on the other side of the street. They're immediately rivals. And then as soon as their rivalry kind of hits the breaking point, the mayor commissions them to brew a potion together. So it is a rivals to lovers set in a very D&D-esque setting.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it is
it's so good.
perfect.
It's amazing.
Yes, I felt like your book hugged me.
Yes.
So I saw a recommendation from Amber D. Lewis, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, if she tells me to read the phone book, like she's not going to be wrong. So I requested the ARC and got it. And oh my God, I could not read fast enough. And I was screaming the whole time, Ambrose, come
Yeah.
on, open your
Yes.
eyes, baby, open them.
Mhm.
Yes, I was texting Mandy. I was like, just kiss already. Just
Yes.
kiss. How
Oh
yeah.
my good.
I don't want to keep waiting. Just do it.
So I want to know, like, what gave you this idea for this story? Because it's
Mhm.
unique, especially like the world. What gave you like
Yeah.
the idea?
I mean, the original, it's kind of boring because I literally just thought of the phrase rival potion shops as just like a prompt, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I didn't do anything with it for like several months, and then I just like, you know how like you have an idea and it just kind of like percolates a little
Yeah.
bit, and I was like, okay, like I think I have an idea for like some of the personalities on the street. Like I knew one was going to be grumpy and one was going to be sunshine. I knew one was going to be blue and one was going to be gold. And then it really just kind of like developed from there. I think I've always liked like slice of life D&D NPC kind of stories. I play D&D. I love D&D. I also love things like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, and so it really, I feel like, is the natural consequence of all of that.
Oh my
I
God, now
love
that
that.
you say that, like I can picture it. It's
Yeah.
D&D in Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's exactly what it is. I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Mhm.
I want to learn to play D&D so bad. You have no idea.
Oh my God.
Same.
Like, and we
Same.
have friends here who like also want to play D&D. We just haven't like
Mhm.
actually like, because they have little kids and we have like our teenage nieces half the time. So we've just
Yeah.
never gotten like a night to just like, okay, you know what we're doing? We're playing D&D tonight. Like, but I'm
Yes.
dying because it seems like so much fun.
It is really fun, but there's also, it's tricky because you have to have somebody who like can DM, or if
Right.
you choose specifically a system that doesn't require a DM, but then that's not straight like D&D.
Right.
And yeah, it's a big time sink. You have to have at least one person who like at least kind of knows the rules, and so there is a
Right.
pretty big barrier to entry, at least if you're going straight for like D&D 5e.
Yeah,
One
for
day.
sure. One day.
One day.
Baby, you can be our
Yeah, you're gonna
DM.
have to tell us.
Oh my God. I have tried to be a DM once and it really did not go well. I'm just not good at the improv part of it. You have
That's
to be
fair,
able to
yeah.
go with the flow and like know the rules and know when it's okay to break the rules for the sake of the game. And that's a lot. Just
That
let
is
me
a
be a
lot.
player and
That's
blow
fair.
stuff up. It's fine.
That's fair, yeah. So there is quite a cast of characters who are all phenomenal. Did you pull inspiration from anybody in your personal life? Like pull characteristics from specific people? Anybody inspire a character or anything like that? Or just your brain?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it was more like I knew I wanted there to be a found family on the street. And so I was really thinking of, I mean, it's going to sound so boring. I was thinking about like the archetypes. Like I wanted there to be a motherly figure who would be paying attention to what Ambrose was doing, even when he didn't want that to be the case. I
Right.
wanted there to be a quietly protective character that we didn't know a whole lot about, but is always there. Banneker, I frankly don't know where Banneker came from. I think
Banneker's
like
one
a
of my
year ago,
favorites.
I was like, what if I
Yes.
just had Banneker say dude? And then that became like his whole personality. So he's really fun. But,
I love,
yeah.
and Mandy has mentioned it on the podcast before, but we love how, like, for example, you have Sherry, who's like the motherly type, and she's just a badass weapons maker.
Weapons
Like,
maker, yeah.
I love that, like, disconnect from like the personality to like their occupation, I guess.
Yeah, they are really
And
fun. I like them a lot.
And I love like that you have like, well, this is a half elf and this is an orc, and so you have like different, like, I don't even know, it's not races, different
In
species of.
D&D, they're called races. Yeah.
Are they?
Okay.
Which might be changing with some of the updated D&D rules, I think, actually. But yeah, it is supposed to very much evoke like a D&D setting, and it's supposed to feel familiar enough where you're like, okay, like I want to know more about the world, but I'm okay focusing on this one slice of it for now.
Right.
And there are definitely, there's more parts of the world that I want to explore in future books, but I knew I wanted to tell a smaller story for the first one.
What does that mean? Does that mean we have like a saga coming in this
Yeah,
world?
so it's going to be a trilogy. And I was originally considering doing like some novellas in between. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe they'll just be short stories, but it is planned to be a trilogy.
This is
That's
so exciting.
exciting.
Oh my God. Because like I'm never gonna have enough. This is never gonna be enough.
I want to like go live in the Scar. I want to be
Yes.
part of
Me
this
too.
family. Like
Yeah.
it's just so comforting. Just to
Yeah.
be in that world. Like
It's like the most idyllic, even like going down into the caves that they go into with these giant moths. I was still like, I would do this just to live here. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it didn't feel like yeah, they're in danger, but I still felt comforted. Like
yeah,
I don't
that's because
how
Eli
how
was
do you
there,
do
and
that?
he's like that. Eli is like the most comforting soul there is. I feel
He is
like
so chill with
sweet angel.
everything. Like even when like they're literally exploding something and he's just like so chill about it. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's like,
bro, what?
hand me that.
I love it. It's so comforting. And I really loved, and I think I wrote this in my review. I was just like, I really love the fact that everybody just exists as they are. There's never
Mhm.
any like conflict about who people are, how they identify, things
Right.
like that. And it felt,
Mhm.
it's the world feels like just
Cozy.
cozy and happy
That was
and
the
a
goal.
great place to escape to.
Mhm.
And we also have talked about how much we love and appreciate that no one was ever shamed for anxiety or depression or any type of mental issues that they may be going through. It was never, well, you're stressing me out, or I can't deal with you, or
Mhm.
even if, because other people's anxiety can stress you. They never, made it you are being a problem to me. And I thought that was so lovely to read, because you don't see enough of that. But it wasn't overly to where it was like, okay, this is not real. This is fake. Like
Right.
nobody would
Yeah,
ever
you
act
don't
like
want
this
it to
is
read like a therapy session, but
right.
you
It was
also,
so
want
genuine.
them to support each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything felt
Mhm.
so just like organic and like this could be, a family in real life. Like it could be a friend
Right.
group in real life. That's just how people are supportive of each other.
Yeah, I'm really glad that's resonating with people. It's not something that I thought people would latch onto, but it seems like people are, which is great. I'm very happy about that.
It was very comforting. It was very comforting to read, because it's like, that your anxiety, your depression, they're lying to you, and that your people love you. And so it reminds you to look at yourself and be like, yeah, well, when I'm anxious, this person does this, or when I'm, having a down day, this person says that. And it makes you look and like, okay, we're kind of blessed too. This is good.
Good. I'm glad it was comforting. It was very much meant to feel like I don't know how much a video game like people you are. But if I'm playing like an actual combat game like Dragon Age, I'm always like, okay, where's the nearest town where nobody's going to attack me? Like, where can I
Yeah.
go where I will actually feel like safe and I just want to explore and everything's fine? That's
Yeah.
very much the Scar for me.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
I get that, because you have the adventurers who go out and into the chaos, and
Hmm.
maybe not chaos, but into the adventure. But then you have the people who are like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here, and it's
Yeah.
okay. That's really cool. So when you were writing, did you have a specific character who you were like, this person's just gonna be like a one-off? They're gonna be who like completely changed or was completely not what you expected?
I want to say now I'm like looking at the book because I literally like I have of course you can't see it because of my background. I want to say Banneker was a lot more fun. I didn't quite know what to do with him. I know I wanted him to be goofy, but he grew more hippie-esque as the book went along, and that was very fun for me. And then it was just nice figuring out ways to add Tom in. Because one of the when I was going through like beta readers, my husband's one of the beta readers. He was like, "You have to add more Tom," and I'm so glad I did because people so far Tom is a fan favorite. So that's very fun for me.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. That tracks.
I mean, Tom is like it's basically the animal companion in
Yeah,
itself. He's not the
yeah.
animal. He's
I
He's
felt
a
for
little
Tom the way I
robot.
felt the dog in every book. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
fair.
sweet. Do
Mhm.
you have a favorite character of the group, or is that like choosing your favorite child?
It's Ambrose. I love him so much. He is probably the most self-insert. We're very different in many ways. We're also very similar in many ways. But yeah, it's Ambrose.
He reminded me a lot of
Or
my brother, so I did feel like a kinship to Ambrose.
Mhm.
So we do this segment called Fictional Boyfriend of the Week, okay? And it doesn't have to be like a love interest if you don't want it to be. It can always be like, it could be last week I had a fictional bestie of the week.
Mhm.
But the week after I read Arrival Most Vile, my fictional boyfriend of the week was Eli, because I was just like so in love.
He's a good dude. I'm actually wearing his earrings right now. I don't know if you
Oh
can.
my God.
With my earring.
Stop. I love that.
Yeah, I had to get them. I
Of
just like went on
course.
Etsy and searched for like an hour.
That's amazing.
So I guess this is a two-parter. Do you have like a fictional love interest from your own book? And then do you have like a fictional boy? It doesn't have to be a boyfriend. It could be a girlfriend, they friend, best friend
Mhm.
from books you've read recently or like all-time favorite.
Mm.
even.
Or film, like just a fictional
Yeah, fiction
person.
doesn't
Yeah.
have to be books.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I love Ambrose. Of course, he would never date me. He's not interested in girls. That's fine.
He can be your fictional bestie.
Yeah.
I think we would get along. I think I would respect his boundaries. Gosh, in
See,
terms
this is
of,
the moment when everything you've ever read or seen goes completely out of your brain.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Mhm.
I would say in the first book that I wrote, Stray Spirit, Emery, I love him too. He's also my favorite in that one. He's the main character. He's just a cinnamon roll bard. Also has
love
I have
So,
I like
yeah, we have to read that.
I checked I borrowed it from like Scribed and I just haven't had the
Mhm.
time to like go read it. I was like, damn it, I've run out of time. I'm talking to her
all
today.
good.
But I'm so excited. Like it sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Good. I
And
would
you're
say,
writing more
mhm.
from that too, right? Is that a
Sorry, what?
standalone? Is that a standalone or is there more coming?
It is. This is also going to be a trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yes, I love that.
Oh gosh, you're one of these authors that I'm gonna love anything you write. So
Yeah.
Thank
I just can
you.
tell. I can tell.
It's yeah, I agree. Like you read something and then you just know, like I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to read every single thing that ever comes from this person.
Oh, thank
Like
you.
are
That's very
are you
sweet.
writing a phone book? Like I need that. Yeah.
Should give us all the things.
So then, do you have a fictional person that you didn't write that you're like, yes, give me?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone here is watching Legend of Vox Machina, but listen, I like Percy, and I know he's problematic, and that's part of the fun. And I just really appreciate his angst arc in season 1. It was just structurally perfect. I love Percy. He's got problems. He's got trauma. He's got a possession dynamic. He's got a long blue coat. I love long coats. It was
Hey.
truly just the intersection of everything that I loved.
I'm sorry, what is this called? I need to write this
Yeah.
down so I
So
don't
it's
forget it.
it's called the show is called Legend of Vox Machina. It's on Amazon and it's based off a D&D actual play stream called Critical Role. It's probably like the biggest
Okay.
D&D stream out there. And they
Okay.
did
Yeah.
and they've done 3 campaigns so far. They're currently in campaign 3 and then they did a Kickstarter to fund a show based off their first campaign, which they did years ago. And completely, of course, blew Kickstarter out of the water. So season 2 just finished airing and then I think there's going to be a season 3.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed
Yeah, I'm gonna have
already.
to watch this.
Like you literally just listed all of the best qualities of a fictional man.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, does he also just like is he just mean to people sometimes? Because I like
He
that. too.
he can be, because he's like from a super rich family and like from nobility, he can be very like pompous. And will be like the one drinking wine at the tavern while everybody else is like drinking beer and getting into a bar fight. He's very much that kind of guy too.
Look,
I love it.
they called a character the Darkling and he got out of a carriage with a billowing coat and I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
it's so
Yeah.
easy. It's
I can be bought. And it's just with a billowing coat
Yes.
and angst and
Mhm, mhm.
Yes.
meanness, a mean streak.
I
Absolutely.
mean, they gave him such a good coat. I had to cosplay Percy. So I did that
Did you?
last year. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
That
Are
is
you
so
big
cool.
in like cosplay? Do you do it regularly? Do you go to cons and cosplay all the time? I need
No,
details.
not really. I used to do like at least 2 cosplays a year. But I just haven't, since I think Percy was my last one. I did that last year. And then I've both been like writing. And then I just haven't come across a character. It has to be an intersection of like, I love this character and I love their outfit and I think I
Right.
can make their outfit.
Mhm.
And so I just haven't like come across that character since
That's
Percy.
fair.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Cosplay
Because
is
cosplay is a
so-
lot. It's
It is
fun,
a
but
lot.
it's a lot of work
Yeah.
Mhm.
too. So
I think about it and I just get tired. I'm like, props to everybody who does it. I'm just like, yo, that's not me.
So do you go to cons with
No,
cosplay or you
don't.
just
I
Okay.
make the outfits and I take photos and that's kind of it.
Hey, no, that's cool.
I love
Less
that though. That gives
peoply.
you
Much less
yeah,
peoply.
for
Yeah.
sure. And it
Mhm.
still gives you that like serotonin boost from being creative.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
love that. I feel like we should aim more to do things just for us.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you like to read? Like this is obviously like a fantasy, like very cozy fantasy, but fantasy. Are you a fantasy reader? Are you a romance reader, thriller, mystery? What is it? And do you have anything that you're reading right now that you like can't stop talking about?
Yeah, I usually stick to fantasy and romance when I read. I used to be in a book club group that was very good about like picking not fantasy books. So I need to get back into that. What I'm currently reading is Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather
I
Okay.
Falter.
have that.
I do
I'm only
too.
like a couple chapters in. I really like it so far. I really like the tone, but yeah, overall, I've been reading more like historical fantasy romance, of course, cozy fantasy romance, really for like a lot of genre research. But yeah, Encyclopedia of Fairies, I just kept seeing it over on like TikTok and Instagram, and I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I have to read
Yeah,
it.
I've only
I'm
heard good things
influenced.
about it.
Yeah,
That seems so. Yeah,
that's one
it's on
where
my
it seems
list.
like it's setting up a good book boyfriend because so far I only know this guy through letters, and I'm like, I have to meet this guy.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm moving that up the
That's all.
list.
Mhm.
I'm too superficial for it because if I don't have a good book boyfriend, I lose interest real quick. I gotta have a little bit of romance. It doesn't have to be like the main plot, but I have to have something. I'm a romantic, so, like I'm hopeless,
Mhm.
so I have to have something to keep
Yeah.
me going.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
But also, I need it to like follow through. I can't have you
Mhm.
giving me all this tension for a whole book and then have one chaste little kiss on the side of the
Oh
mouth.
yeah, she read a book like that recently, where it was just like they kissed and then the book was over.
I was like, why would you do this to me? Who does that?
I just can't believe you're like you came to talk to us. Like this is insane.
No,
I know, we're
I was
clearly.
super honored. I mean, this is the first time I've done anything like this. So this is exciting for me.
Yay! Well, we're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm
literally,
so
I read this book and I was just like, yes,
yeah,
yes.
I want to cry.
I love
So
it so much. I can't wait to go back. Like, I can't
yeah,
wait to see
I
what's coming
don't
next.
I know you can't give like too much away, but is there anything that you can tell us about like the future of the scar or the world that the scar is in?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even really started outlining. I just kind of have like an idea for what I want to have happen in book 2 and what I want to have happen in book 3. I don't think I can talk about book 3 yet because I feel like that's probably a spoiler for book 2.
Right.
But Ambrose, I was inspired by the trope of like scientists getting kidnapped by evil supervillains, but then scientists just being like, "Well, I made you a confetti gun because you don't know what the heck I'm doing in like this area over here. Like I could be
Yeah.
making anything and you wouldn't know." And so I want Ambrose at the potion convention. So, while the city is like super swamped and very busy, you get to see the potion convention. I want him to be kidnapped by somebody who wants to like basically force him to make a potion. And so it's up to him to kind of sort out, well, like, how do I follow the kidnapping protocol for this while Rosamund Street figures out how to get him back?
Oh my god. I
Sherry will
need it
burn that
now.
whole world down.
Yeah.
Sherry's gonna
I already know like Grim
everybody.
is going to be so upset at themselves for
Yes.
not protect like and it's not
Yeah.
going to be like high stakes like, oh, it's a dangerous kidnapping. It's very much going to be like, well, the guild says I have to do this when I'm kidnapped. So like it's it's still going to be
Right.
very lighthearted.
He's so
We
yeah.
kidnapped you, but here's a cup of tea.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Like-
it's yeah.
Oh.
And so yeah, Ambrose is going to meet some new folks who actually live underneath the scar. Dawn is going to get a love interest as she tries to investigate kind of like how to get him back, and then a journalist shows up and kind of wants to like follow them as they're doing this. Like this is like the new like magic crime beat that she's on. Yeah, and then Eli is gonna you have to kind of show his chops a little bit when it comes to
I love him
rescuing his
so
boyfriend.
much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's
There
gonna
might be a
have to
wedding in
like
book 3. We'll see.
I
Ugh.
am obsessed. I need this like yesterday.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god. And Grimm is my favorite. They are just, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They just give me all the vibes, and I want to be their bestie.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
do
love
love
them.
them.
I love them so much.
I
Oh
want
my
them in my
God.
corner. I want everybody on the
Yeah.
in the
I
whole
mean,
star.
yeah.
Like, there's nobody bad. There's nobody like.
No,
I just want
everybody.
everybody in my corner.
They're good
I
kids.
love is it, oh, I can't remember. Is it a rose statue or the statue?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the
Yes.
communication
The text
Yeah.
messaging system.
Oh my gosh, that is so clever and it's so cool. And I mean, I guess this is like a little bit of a spoiler, so everybody skip ahead like 30 seconds, but I need to talk about this. Like when Ambrose has his little misstep, and Eli is like,
Hitting
wait,
the
why? Why?
Why is
And then
nobody coming?
the way that he gets so upset, like we don't ever see him really get mad, and then in that moment he's just so angry because like, let me take care of you. And it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love, how did you come up with that system where for them to communicate, like, because it's, I don't know that I can think of anything that's similar, because
No,
you
like I
have to.
pictured like the Beauty and the Beast dome. Like
That's
the
what I was
flower.
picturing too.
I did too.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit different because I don't think there's like a dome, but that's pretty much what it is. It's just made of like wood and like liquid, like almost like resin. If you've seen like those tables with those resin cracks, it's a little like that. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what the original inspiration was. I feel like it's mostly a mechanic. I wanted there to be a way for them to communicate, and I think I wanted there to be a system that shows like how differently Ambrose communicates or doesn't communicate with the rest of the street, whereas everybody else is kind of in the loop. And I wanted there to be that kind of payoff there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just grew from that.
I really
That
loved
is
it.
so
It was
cool.
so, yeah, it's such a
Thank you.
cool system to have. And it really, like you said, that payoff where there's something that happens that then Ambrose is like, kind of screwed. So I love that. It was very clever.
I do
That
still
was-
want to write like a side series at some point that suggests like the text messages from that. Of,
Oh
like,
my
the Rosemary
gosh,
Street folks
yes.
talking about like different things.
That would
That's a
be
cool,
so
that's a
much
cool
fun.
idea too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
amazing.
I'm so
Okay.
excited for the future of this series.
So there are they, I guess, like sketches or like their plans or something that you
Yeah.
have included. Did you draw all that? Did you have
did.
somebody? Oh my God.
I'm trying to find
Holy
out.
crap. I was like, I flipped the page and it was there, and I was like, I need to read every little detail because this is so fascinating. And it's so,
Yeah.
oh
it's
no.
totally not
It
gonna
comes
show.
in and out.
Yeah, it's like, nope. Sorry.
No.
No, and it's so,
Rude.
I love it. Like,
Yeah,
so,
I wanted, I don't know if any of y'all went to the Scholastic Book Fair when you were younger, but like there would be those books where there would be like a poster in the middle or like just some artwork in the middle, and it wasn't really relevant to the story. It was just a cool thing. And I was like, well, like I'm self-publishing. I have the freedom to do that sort of stuff. And so that's kind of where that came from. It was originally just going to be Ambrose and Eli's, and I was like, no. And then I did like Dawn's for funsies, and I was like, and now I got to do everybody else.
yeah.
What's everybody else is gonna look like? Hold on.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Those
so
are
much.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I already told Karen. I told Karen a couple of weeks ago. Like, I am jealous and suspicious of people who can just draw.
Yes.
One of my nieces can draw, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I can't draw a stick figure and make it.
I'm
look
pretty
normal.
sure my daughter is gonna be the same way when she's older, because she's already being very like artsy, and I'm just like, you're gonna be one of these people that can just draw things at the drop of the hat and be
And they
so
look
mad at
good
you because
I can't even
can't.
trace things.
No, I can't.
I feel like
So-
my parents were the same way because they're not particularly artsy people. And so when when I grew up to be like just into like high fantasy, Lord of the Rings, drawing stuff all the time, they were like, I mean, okay, cool, you do you.
My parents did that too because neither of them is really like fantasy people. So I would like in middle school, I'd come home and like I had to watch Lord of the Rings every day. And they were like, the heck is this? What? And like, yeah, all of
Did
the
you also have a
fantasy
crush
series.
on Legolas, or was that just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have
But
sold my
also
12-year-old soul for
Aragorn.
him.
Did you go from like the Legolas to Aragorn to
Yes.
Samurai
No,
Champloo
I
pipeline?
started with
Yes.
Aragorn.
That's fair.
No, I started with Legolas.
I was like, Legolas is cute and all, but like I'm an Aragorn girl.
No,
Like
because
through and
Legolas
through.
was also Will Turner.
That's true. Peak. Peak
That's
Orlando
fair.
Bloom right there.
Yes. Oh my
He
gosh.
had an era. That was a good
Yeah,
era for
he
him.
It
really
wasn't
did.
a particularly long era, but it was an era.
No.
It was a culturally significant era.
Yeah, and I know
Mhm.
he's with Katy Perry now, so like he has to still be doing great for himself. I'm terrified to look at what he looks like now. I don't want to know. I want to freeze him in like 2004, 2005. That's where
Mhm.
you live.
It would just
Anybody,
remind me of
yeah.
like how old the Lord of the Rings series is now, and I don't like thinking about that.
No,
I don't need that reminder.
No.
not
I
even
don't
a
like
little
that.
bit. My husband picks on me because like recently-ish, I wanted my nieces to watch it for the first time. They just turned, or they're going to be 14 tomorrow.
Oh,
when
okay,
we're
yeah.
recording this. So I was like, you are past due for the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And so like we're watching it, and I haven't seen it since I was in high school, but I'm like quoting along with it, and he's like, "You're such a nerd." And I'm like,
You knew this.
"You can't quote Lord of the Rings? Hold on. What have I married?" No, I'm a nerd. He's a nerd too. He just
Different
is
kind.
weird. He's a different kind of nerd. He's a video game nerd. He's downstairs. I
Mhm.
can hear him downstairs yelling at Call of Duty right now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, my house is stuck in, I don't know what town they're in. I just know there's lots of yelling sometimes. But it's not just that. Like there was, I can't remember the game he played recently that was super fantasy game.
Was it Elden Ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved watching him play that just because it was
Mhm.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And then there was one, I don't think it was Valhalla. I don't think that's the name of the game. Of the game.
God of War, Ragnarok?
Yes, that. And then he plays a lot of Assassin's Creed too.
Yeah.
So
My
like,
husband plays all those as well.
Yeah.
They're too high combat for me, so I would be very stressed out, but I like watching him play.
Yeah, I would sit here with a book and I would just like realize that I was watching the game play more so than reading my book, just because like especially Elden Ring, it was beautiful.
Oh yeah, and some of those cutscenes are really strong. Like I'm really glad that he played Last of Us 7 times, because then I finally got to like watch all the cutscenes. And that could have been amazing. I could never play it. I can't even watch the show. I stopped watching the show and they hadn't even introduced any zombies yet, and I was like, I'm already stressed out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
and you know, it's amazing.
You know some of the story from The Last of Us and like what's to come. It's like I'm emotionally not available for that personally. You can watch that. I'm not gonna be able to handle it. So thank you, but no.
I feel like whenever you have those moments, Mandy, it's like, okay, I will take the hit and I'll do it for both of us. Because it's not that I am emotionally available for that, but I also am dead inside. So it's just like, I'll just do it. It's fine. If one of us has to watch it so that we can be relevant and talk about it, I'll do it. It's fine.
Have you been watching it?
I haven't yet because I recently binged Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So I was like
opposite TV
very different experiences. I'm also like a binger. Like I don't really want to wait week to week. So like once it's all out, I'll probably watch it all at once. Which is the only reason that I have not been watching my husband Jeremy Renner in season 2 of Mayor of Kingstown, because they're releasing it week to week. So I'm like, just give me all of it. Give it.
See, I haven't convinced her to watch Stranger Things yet because it's not fully bingeable. She hasn't watched You yet because it's not fully bingeable, and I'm just over here dying.
Well, it's like
Stranger Things is fairly bingeable. You got like
she won't do it until the final
but it's
season
like,
is out.
Because I know that it's coming. Like I know there's an end. So why would I put myself through 4 seasons just to have to wait for the last one?
So you can sit here with the rest of us, Karin.
I don't
That's what people say
about
Name of the Wind. I've had people be like, you shouldn't read Name of the Wind because who knows if the 3rd book is ever going to come out. And so you would just be sitting here with all of us, like having read, the devastatingly beautiful book 1 and book 2 and just being sad forever.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I am that person, and I have been since I was a kid, where like if I was reading a series that I really liked, I would be like, I am terrified that I'm gonna die before the end of this, and I'm gonna die not knowing. And I said this to Amber D. Lewis, and she's like, if you're ever on your deathbed, I will come whisper the end of the Fire and Starlight saga in your ear so that you don't have to worry, because I'm terrified. I can't die not knowing the end of something. I just can't live with it.
And maybe
Yeah.
don't read Name of the Wind.
No, I won't.
That's how I'm currently feeling with Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart. Like, if I die before A Curse for True Love comes out,
Yeah.
I'm coming back just to read that book. Like, I
You
will
haunt
find a
her
way.
personally.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm
I will
coming back to
follow
haunt
her
you as you
around.
write it or as you edit or whatever.
Like, I will take you down with me.
Yes.
Like, how dare you? Oh my god, the end of that book. Ah,
Yeah. Trauma. Trauma.
for real.
Oh,
That's why reading Arrival Most Vile was so comforting.
yes.
Because it was like, because we're so used to like being traumatized at the end of a book,
Yeah.
especially in
Mhm.
fantasy, and just to have this and just be like, it's like a
And it
happily ever
leaves you
after.
like, yeah, there's a happily ever after, but it's open to more without it
Yes.
being someone is in the balance. Will they
Mhm.
survive? Like, it's
Yeah.
so nice to just, like I said, it's like a hug. It's just
Yeah.
like a hug.
I can't not write happy endings. I'm like physically incapable of it.
That
That's
So
good
don't
to
even
know.
think
makes
about
me
it.
so comforted.
Yes, that's so good to know.
Yes.
Because there's
There's
nothing like
not-
going into something and thinking, like not being prepared emotionally
Mhm.
and then getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to know that there's a happily ever after. Like,
And
even if
you
it's just like in part.
And you saying that is similar to like Victoria Aveyard has done it and Amber D. Lewis has done it, where they've said, if it's a dog, it's safe.
Oh
If
yeah,
it's
I
a
would
canine,
never.
it's safe.
Oh, oh my god. Yeah,
I
my
get
mom
like
still
so
tells a story
scared.
about how she took me to me and my childhood friend to like I want to say like Shiloh or something like that. And of course, no one knew that the dog perished at the end.
Yeah.
And so I guess we were sitting in front of them, and we like turned back to our parents like sobbing, and they were like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, what have we done?"
What
So
have we
yeah,
done to the
no,
children?
all of the animals and automatons and everything are.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to be like, Tom's gonna be okay, right? Like,
Tom is gonna thrive. Tom is
okay,
gonna
good,
be just
good,
fine.
good.
I love it. Yeah, I read a book recently where they did a trigger warning for like an animal death, and it was a traumatizing experience. And like I care that all animals survive, but primarily dogs. Like I can't. And so I scoured Goodreads, I scoured the internet.
Journey she went on.
Nobody explained. So I went to Instagram and I found somebody who had posted about that book, and I DM'd them just out of the blue. And I'm like, this is gonna sound a little crazy. I see you've read this. Can you tell me it's not a dog? And they were like, I don't remember what it was, but if it was a dog, I would have DNF'd. And I finished that book. So it's not a dog.
You found the
It
right
wasn't.
person to talk to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, thank you
Good.
so much. You're an angel.
She went on a whole journey. She was like,
I
I can't
can't.
find anything. And I was like, oh God.
Like
Mhm.
if you see a dog in a movie, I'm immediately doesthedogdie.com and like searching just to check and
Yeah.
make sure.
Anytime
And so
anytime I
I-
read or watch anything and there's a dog, I have to tell her, like,
Mhm.
the
And I'm
dog's fine.
super obnoxious about it too, because if we're in a theater, if I'm watching something with my husband, I've like put the phone down. The dog's gonna be fine. Everybody. Or if the dog's not fine, I just get up and leave, and they're like, "Where's she going?" And he's just like, "It's the dog is not gonna be okay. That's why she left."
I would be right there with you. If he said, "Oh,
Yeah.
dog's not gonna be okay," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get popcorn and just never come
Yeah.
back."
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go talk to her for the next 2 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like, oh gosh, there was like a show or something where the character was talking and their like parents would turn off the movies before like tragedy strikes. Oh, it was Friends. Phoebe was like the end of, I think it was like Old Yeller. It gets, her parents would turn it off so she doesn't know like everybody's fine. I'm like,
Yeah. Or you
that's
see
where I
the
wanna
people who talk about how The Sound of Music was such like a happy movie, and it's because they didn't watch the second VHS tape ever where it gets to like the Nazis in the war. So it's just like people singing. And it's like there was a second half. They're talking about how wholesome and wonderful The Sound of Music is. And it's like, or like if you don't watch the second VHS of Titanic, it never sings.
live.
Just just
That's
rich
true.
people on a boat.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, VHS tapes. Are we old?
We're old,
Like,
ancient.
We might be a little old.
We already dated ourselves by talking about Orlando Bloom and
Yeah.
Lord
Yeah,
of the
we
Rings.
did.
They already
that's
know.
true. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a millennial.
It's stressful being a millennial.
For sure.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're not gonna keep you forever.
Yeah.
We've
No, it's been really fun talking to
incoherently.
you.
We ramble a lot.
We've also unfortunately have to tell you that now that you've come on to talk to us about this book, you are legally bound to come on and talk to us about every book from now until forever.
Happy to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's we don't make the rules, we just enforce
No,
them.
we just
Uh-huh.
we just
No,
enforce them
understood.
strictly. So please keep us posted on progress. We're going to be following along. So yeah, we'll make sure that our listeners are primed and ready for future books.
Thank you.
We can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm so excited. Like it was it's just so comforting,
good.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like just you don't understand. So go and pre-order Arrival Most Vile right now. It comes out March 20th.
Yes, and if you do pre-order, I still have stickers, and I have double-sided bookmarks that I can send to you along with a note from
They're
myself.
so cute.
Yeah, that
Is
so
there
exciting.
a way for people to pre-order signed copies from you?
No, I don't have any author copies yet. I'll be doing, I usually do a couple giveaways a year, and those will always be stamped and signed. I've got a little potion bottle stamp that I just kind of like, use on the title page. But
I
yeah, I don't
love
have any
that.
pre-order copies.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna follow what she does. And I'm going to request that I mail you my copy with a with a return label and have you sign it and stamp it.
Yeah, happy to.
One of
And
our
I'll slip in the sticker and the bookmark too. I got plenty.
I love love notes in my books because they're fun. And doodles because apparently you can do that.
Uh-huh.
So doodles.
No pressure.
Okay,
No
noted.
pressure. So
Thank you
everybody
so
go
much.
go and pre-order the book. And The Stray Spirit, which was your first book, is available now. You can go order that now and get on the bandwagon while we're just getting started, y'all.
Yep.
Because there's obviously more to come and we're very excited about it.
I can see this being like the most gorgeous TV show there is. Like
Oh,
I
that
need
is so
need
cute.
Netflix
Oh my
or Amazon to
gosh.
like make this world. I need to visually see this
I would
world.
love like The Scar as a sitcom. I feel like it would be so fun.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
I want to see like the Lord of the Rings cinematography with this story. Like it's breathtaking, and I need to see like the effort they put into making Game of Thrones. Like I
Mhm.
need
The
High
it'll be so
budget.
cinematic
beautiful.
mess.
High budget,
Yeah.
Yes.
limited episode. Maybe
Okay, Mandy, it's time.
one season.
It's time.
So I do this thing, and it works. Okay, it has worked several times. Okay,
Is
where
it the
I just
manifesting?
yes.
Because I listened to the past couple episodes, and great. Yeah, manifest
Okay.
whatever
do
you
it.
want.
Let's do it.
Hello. Are you Netflix? Are you Amazon? Are you Disney Plus? Hello. This is Mandy and Karin and RK, and we need you to make a show for The Scar or Arrival Most Vile. Anything in the universe that would show us Arrival Most Vile, show us The Scar, show us everything visually. We need that. So we're manifesting this now. This is going to be either a TV show or a like major motion picture. If you need background actors, we're available. Don't make any changes because we'll follow you around with the book and hit you over the head with it, but make this world visually so that we can see it. Love you. Bye.
Love that. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it would be really beautiful. I really want to see the cave scenes because I like have this picture in my
Yeah.
head and it would be so magical. I feel like
Mhm.
all of it would be magical, but like
It would be fun.
Yeah.
so
All right. Well, it's been manifested, so the universe hears it. We'll see.
Yes, we're very excited. Thank you
We
so
will see.
much for coming on and chatting with us, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, it
No, I
was
had
a lot of fun.
blast.
Thank you so
We
much.
really do have to do this again.
Yes, absolutely.
We will talk to you soon. She's so
Oh
cute.
my
She's so cool.
god, she's
Yeah.
so much fun. She is one of us.
Mhm.
She's so like, and she's like nerdy in like a way that we aren't, and I love that so much. Like with D&D and video games. And I'm just
I
like,
want to learn so much much from her.
Yes.
I want to learn all of the things. Speaking of manifestation, I have another manifestation to say.
Okay.
Hello, universe. This is Mandy and Karin, your BFFs who you love to make things happen for. We have this friend, Lisa Lynn. She's got 2 books out, or she's got a book out and one coming out: The Year of Cecily and The Rachel Experiment. And we are thinking that she needs, like maybe a 6-figure book deal, 7 figures. If we're feeling froggy, that's fine too. So yeah, let's get we're also looking for a sponsored role on Ted Lasso for Lauren Kung Jessen, our friend. She'd love to be on the show. And yeah, Lisa Lynn, 6-figure book deal. Thank you.
What I'm anticipating.
Mhm.
We're going to Disney next week, so
Oh,
it's
that is
pretty
so
well
exciting.
timed for in terms of having money to spend at Disney.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I was sparse the week or so before Disney
yeah,
too.
it's kind of,
We
it's kind
gotta
of a
save for
thing you have to
Disney
do.
here.
So I'm looking forward to going to Disneyland, and we're gonna go to Universal, and I think Nintendo World is supposed to be open, so maybe we'll get to see that, depending on, I mean, it's probably gonna be insane, so I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. And then I think that's pretty much it in terms of our mini vacation. I think we're gonna do 2 days at Disney, and then one day with Heather and maybe Joanna. I can't remember if Joanna and her boyfriend are coming to Disney with us, but maybe.
Maybe.
I know they're coming to Universal with us, so we're gonna do a day with all of us at Universal, and then Heather, as I've said multiple times, is
She's got the
going to
worst
Hawaii.
life.
Yeah, she just
Terrible
has to.
life.
She just has to fly to Hawaii for work. It's terrible. So me and my daughter, we're gonna do like a mommy daughter day at Disney, just the 2 of us. We haven't done that in a while, so that'll be fun. And we're gonna continue Heather's Marvel education. We are currently on episode 2 or 3 of WandaVision.
Oh, she's
So
getting close.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out tomorrow, so
I know. There
it's
was almost a risk that I was gonna go today
oh.
because like it's here, but
Yeah.
no, we're gonna go when we get back.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in terms of vacation. It'll be nice to have a little bit of a break. I don't think I've had time off since November, like extended time
Oof.
off. I
Yeah.
can't really remember. Yeah, so it'll be nice for sure. And then we're gonna spend the second half of the week at home, chilling and recovering. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I always regret not taking like a day or 2,
mhm.
like especially after Disney. You need a
Yes.
minute.
Yeah, and I
It's so
always
much fun, but
forget.
it's a lot.
I always forget to take that extra like buffer days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad
That'll be
I kind of,
cathartic.
yeah, it'll be nice. Like you get the high intensity like theme park time and then nice cool down period.
Yeah, you
It's
get
like a
some chill
workout.
time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is though.
Yeah, it really
Stretch
is.
before you go. You'll be
What are
limping out of there.
what are you anticipating, Mandy?
We are going to Heart Support Festival this weekend. So that is the concert it's a music festival that I mentioned. They have 2 stages. One of them, I think, is the Hot Topic stage, and the other is the BetterHelp stage. I know I talked about them last week, but the bands that we are going to see are Under Oath, Senses Fail, The Devil Wears Prada, Hawthorne Heights, Spirit Box, Dance Gavin Dance, Rise Against, For You're Strong, August Burns Red. I'm going for Joshua more so than anything because I love a lot of those bands, but like I probably would not have gone to the music festival for any of these,
hmm
but it'll be fun. It'll be a good weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything like insanely exciting coming up.
The podcast does though.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of exciting.
We should we announce next week's guest? We've been
Do we
doing
want
that.
to?
I don't know.
Or do we want to tease them? No, we want to.
No. So next week we will be talking to Vivian Chang and Eugenia Yo. They are the author illustrator bestie duo who wrote "This Is Not My Home," which is like a reverse immigration story where the girl and her family moved to Taiwan after she's been
Mhm.
raised in the U.S. and she's like, "Oh, culture shock. This is not
Right,
my
yeah.
home." home. So that's really exciting. It's gonna be, like, it'll be fun to have, because we've done so much like adult stuff. It'll be fun to have like a little
Yeah.
kid
Kids book
break. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You should ask your daughter to give you some questions.
oh
Like
yeah.
a list of questions that a kid would have that we maybe wouldn't think about.
Oh, I love that idea. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that'll be really fun. And I know we have some listeners that have little friends in their lives, whether that be a child or, nieces, nephews,
Mhm.
other children that they just love. So
Mhm.
we're spicing it up a bit and bringing
Yep.
in some kids authors. I'm very excited. Their energy together is so much fun.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
God,
Like,
the 4 of us.
oh, it's going to be so chaotic, and I am so excited for
Here
it.
for it.
It's going to be so good. So that'll be for next week. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, when this episode comes out, it'll be 4 days before Last Violent Call is released into the world.
Karen's
In
gonna be
addition to,
unhinged.
I'm going to be insufferable, y'all. Like, I can't even explain it. It's so good. And honestly, like, there are so many books coming out on February 28th. It's bonkers. Like, I can think
Yeah,
of like
it's a big day.
I can think of like 4 just off the top of my head. That's crazy.
It is a big day.
Is there something special that happens on like the last Tuesday of February that nobody told me about? Because damn, I need to, I don't know. But yeah, so it'll be a big day for me personally and the publishing industry as a whole,
The
because
publishing world.
there's a lot of really great books coming out. So yay.
Hey. Yeah, I
And
have a book coming out that day too. And it's not my book, but
I was like,
I just pulled up my calendar. No, God, no.
Mandy, wait a minute.
What do you mean? Surprise!
Excuse me. I haven't read it yet. How could you have a
alpha
book coming
and
out?
beta readers?
I am so offended. Friendship over.
Karen just hangs up on me, and that's the end
Bye.
of the Incoherent Fangirl as we know it. No, I'm nowhere close. I'm close. I'm not that close. I'm nowhere near that close.
It's exciting though.
No, I have a book to read that's out that day.
It's very exciting. So
Yeah.
yay. Okay.
I think it might be time to spiel.
Is it really? My daughter, when I'm editing, my daughter is like, "Mommy, what's a spiel?" And I was like, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, it's a rundown.
Just
Our speech.
shh. Just be shush. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are listening to us. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at The Incoherent Fangirl and Twitter at Incoherent Girls, because Twitter is the worst.
You are the worst, Twitter.
You can also like our Facebook page and then head over to our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes, as well as read our blog, which has all of our like longer form reviews. There's so many. We've been so good.
We're killing it.
We really are, to the point where like Berkeley Publishing is like sending me emails. Like, oh my God, we're so fancy. I love it.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us go. And then you can also subscribe to our Patreon. Go to theincoherentfangirl.com/Patreon. There are 2 tiers that you can sign up for to get early access, as well as access to the videos of each of our episodes, so you can see the things we show off and funny faces we make and just chaos. It really is.
You could have, for like 100 times the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You could have seen Saint's beautiful face.
It really is.
It's such a good face. That is such a good. He looks so menacing in the camera.
He is so handsome.
Google the cover of Saint by Adrian Young. He looks really scary. The camera does not do this eye very well.
Yeah. I would just really can somebody point me to like the model who they shot for this?
Right? I do want to know who that is.
Is he single?
Oh,
is it there?
It says jacket photograph of man by, and it has the author, like the photographer.
But not the man. Maybe I'll reach out to the photographer, be like, remember when you shot?
Who is this?
Remember when you shot Saint? Like, can you? Who is he?
Tell us about him. We're very curious.
So you could be seeing this, y'all.
Rub Saint's face. Sorry.
So yeah, head over to Patreon and subscribe for some enjoyable visual chaos. And then if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, you just want to say we're pretty, you want to just hang out and talk
You
to
guys
us,
were right, Saints Gorgeous.
send us an email.
Hey,
The
you have a
incoherent.
manifestation request?
Oh yeah, we
I'm
need.
working on those.
We should start making that a thing. Like,
Yeah.
give it a
What are we
whole
manifesting this
yeah,
week?
for real. Send us an email, theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com.
I have the
Mandy.
best idea. I have
Mandy
the
has an
best
idea.
idea.
Okay.
For the little like screen. Make Madame Leota, but it's my head. Mandy's manifestation. This
Oh my
segment
god.
cover.
Mandy's manifestation moment.
Yeah. And it's
The
just my head floating
alliteration.
in a crystal ball. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it just popped
Can
into my head.
I just when you're doing that, can I just have that be the overlay as well instead of our
Yes.
regular like backdrop? That's what I should
Yes.
do. Just have your head floating inside a little crystal ball while you're Oh my gosh.
This is unhinged.
That's on brand.
Yeah.
And then one last thing, if you would like to support the show, you can also leave us reviews, rate us and review us on the platform you are listening to. That would be awesome. We would love that. And that's the spiel. She's at Mandy Verb on all the things.
And she's at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And after you have followed us and the podcast, you can go visit our internet besties.
Check out our besties.
We love them. Head over to herecomesthenerd.com, use code FANGIRL, and you'll get 20% off your first order.
Then head to onceuponabookclub.com and use code Mandy10 for 10% off. Get all of your bookish goodies.
And once you've done that, you can head over to grimoiretea.com and pick up some tea to drink while you're cozying up to all your new goodies. Use code FANGIRLT to get 10% off your order. But remember, there's no I in fangirl. FANGRLTEA.
And there's never enough books, right? There's never enough books in the world. So, I mean, I hope that if you're listening to this, you've already done this. And so, like, I really hope no one has to use our coupon code because they've already listened to us, just in case you haven't. The Fire and Starlight Saga by Amber D. Lewis is one of the best series out there. Okay. So head to amberdlewis.com and use code fangirl10 for 10% off your purchase. Okay. Get all of the books, get all the novellas, get some ebooks, some stickers, all of the things.
If you are a fantasy lover, you need to read this series.
You're sleeping if you haven't.
You just
It's
have to.
going to blow up.
It really
and you
is.
can say, you can be the hipster who is like, I read this series before anybody had heard about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just saying.
And you
we're
could
trying
do
to
it
get you in
at
on the ground
10%
floor.
off.
Right. We're saving you money and getting you in on the ground floor. You do not want to miss this series.
Yes, exactly. So, yay.
Yay,
We love our
besties.
besties. And
Yeah, that was the end.
thanks for listening. We love you.
Bye.
Bye. We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.